Everybody looking out for themselves, and everybody got a truth to tell. Everybody got a book they want to sell to everyone else. Everybody got their own agenda, everybody wants you to buy. And no one gives a fuck if their bullshit hustle makes somebody end their life. Oh, I just wanna make money, just wanna make money, don't care in the end who it turns to a friend or foe, or what it does to the folks I know. I just wanna make money, just wanna make money. Who knows what it'll cost in the end? I'll deal with that then. Everybody thinks that they speak for everybody, thinks that they are smart. But everybody's always looking for answers, nobody knows where to start. Everybody thinks someone should save them, but nobody comes to their call. And everybody thinks that they have the fix to finally mend it all. Oh, I just wanna make money, just wanna make money, don't care in the end who it turns to a friend or foe, or what it does to the folks I know. I just wanna make money, just wanna make money. Who knows what it'll cost in the end? I'll deal with that then. Oh, I just wanna make money, just wanna make money, don't care in the end who it turns to a friend or foe, or what it does to the folks I know. I just wanna make money, just wanna make money. Who knows what it'll cost in the end? I'll deal with that then. Hello. Welcome back to another stream. I hope you're having a terrific Tuesday. We are going to hop in and finish Ace Attorney right quick. And this is just the final trial, I'm pretty sure. This has been a fun case. I've really enjoyed this last bonus episode here. Sorry, I'm a little late, by the way. Having a wonderful wake and bake. Perfect. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so we're gonna play a cute little puzzle game after this called Is This Seat Taken? So I'm looking forward to that. That'll be a lot of fun. But hello, failed robot. I hope you're having a terrific Tuesday. Happy to see you. Yes. February 24th, 9:41 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2. So what do you think, Mr. Wright? I think the prosecution is as confused as we are. After all, the victim was murdered in 2 different places at the same time. And a different suspect was arrested at each of the crime scenes. Lana! Good morning, Mr. Wright. I apologize for yesterday. I was indisposed. I hope they didn't hold you too long for the questioning. We just finished, actually. I'm used to all-nighters, though. So how'd it go? It's as Mr. Wright suspects. The police are clueless. I figured as much, so I struck a plea bargain. A plea bargain? What do you mean by that? We agreed that if I told them the truth behind this simultaneous murder, they wouldn't seek capital punishment. That's what I mean, Emma. But, Lana, don't tell me you... Much to my regrets, I'm as much in the dark about this as they are. Miss Skye? We found trace evidence of a certain person in the police department's evidence room. They belong to Officer Jake Marshall. What kind of trace evidence? Blood-stained fingerprints, to be exact. That's the trump card I have up my sleeve today. Oh yeah, let me look over my evidence. There's a lot of evidence in this case. I need to refresh, especially because I am stoned as shit. All right. Yes. So we have the ID. Did we ever find the other? I don't think we ever discovered the other ID numbers. So we have the murder. Okay. What the fuck does this have to do with? Damn, this is a wild case. This really is a stumper. Okay. So we know Edgeworth and Goodman. But who are the other? What the fuck? There's a lot to take in. I have no idea. You know, I was collecting all this stuff, and the whole time I was like, yeah, another piece of evidence. Yeah, another piece of evidence. And I wasn't really thinking about, like, how does this all fit together? Oh, man. You do understand what this means, don't you? In order to defend my sister, you're gonna accuse Mr. Marshall? We have to play the cards we're dealt. Isn't that right, Miss Skye? Do what you have to do, Mr. Wright. Huh. February 24th, 10 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 9. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Skye. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is... I'm afraid you'll have to clarify. It takes 30 minutes by car to reach the police department from the prosecutor's office. Yet the victim, Bruce Goodman, was slain at both places at the same time. But that's not physically possible, is it? What's more, I hear the victim from the evidence room just disappeared. Yes, and the body eventually reappeared in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. Wow, this is one messed up trial. One of my duties as prosecutor is to present impartial evidence. Today I will present evidence relating to the murder at the police department. In doing so, I believe the way in which we should proceed will reveal itself. Now that's what sets Mr. Edgeworth apart. He sounds so on top of things, even though he doesn't know what's going on himself. And that's supposed to be an admirable trait? Very well, let the trial resume. On the day of the crime, what exactly transpired at the police department? Mr. Edgeworth, you may call your first witness to the stand. For its first witness, the prosecution calls the suspect of the murder that occurred at the police department. The suspect? You mean the so-called murderer? Oh boy, things are getting wild from the get-go. Indeed. Oh, right. I forgot all about this guy. Oh my god. Oh my god. What the fuck? How does this tie back to Gantz? I
don't know why, but that's my gut, is that Gantz is the one behind this. I remember thinking that yesterday too. Excuse me. Will the witness please state his name and occupation?
Oh, yes, sir. I'm Officer Meekins. Sir? Oh, Mike Meekins, sir. My occupation is, oh, that would be murderer, sir.
So you're telling us you're a professional killer?
Sir, it was me, sir. I'm the one who did it. I'll never kill anyone again, sir. You've got to believe me, sir.
Oh, no. Don't run away on me again. I hate when it does that. I don't know why. I don't know why it does that. Anyway, here comes the ads for the first time. We'll be free for an hour after this. About 3 minutes of ads, so hang tight. Appreciate y'all. And see you in a little bit.
Sir, I'm what you would call part of the younger generation, sir. Persons whose actions adults can't possibly comprehend.
Please, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Help me, sir. Oh, he's saying sir now, too. Officer Meekins.
Yes, sir.
Give us your report of the crime. Consider that an order.
Yes, sir, as you wish. After all, I am part of a generation that must be told what to do, sir.
You can't fault him for a lack of enthusiasm. Oh, boy.
Although it's not my normal duty, I was assigned to guard the evidence room that day. I spotted a suspicious man on the security screen and rushed into the room. I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked. I fought for my life. Then, I did it. After that, I passed out until another officer smacked me awake.
So the victim, Detective Goodman, attacked you.
Do unto others before they do unto you. That's the Meekins family motto, sir.
I see. Then you fainted and a colleague helped you regain consciousness.
Yes, sir. He knocked me upside the head, sir.
Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination. What I need here is more info to work with. Indeed we do. Okay. We're gonna press him. Full court press.
Although it's not my normal duty.
Okay, press. Mr. Meekins, you work in the General Affairs Department, do you not?
Yes, sir. I'm in charge of hiring new recruits, sir.
Yikes. Now that's a scary thought. Evidence transfer was taking place on the day of the crime, which meant many officers were given special tasks not ordinarily performed.
I was in charge of guarding the Blue Badger, sir.
The Blue Badger? Oh my god, is this finally going to become relevant evidence? Amazing. I had my doubts. I should have known better.
Yes, sir. The lovely police mascot created by the Chief of Detectives, sir. I was to ensure it wasn't broken during the transferal process. That was my sole mission for the day, sir.
That was your whole job, huh? I see. Sounds like a very, important position.
After the award ceremony finished that day, there were so many people running around that I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room.
Ah, okay. Can I fingerprint that handprint? Interesting. Okay. Oh, so that's why you went to the evidence room. Tell us, What did you see when you got there? Hello, hello, welcome back from the ad break. Appreciate y'all hanging tight through that.
I spotted a suspicious man on the security screen and rushed into the room.
In order to enter the evidence room, you need an ID card, am I right?
Precisely, sir. I have one right here around my neck.
So then, your ID number should be listed on here, right? There we go, we're getting another one.
There it is. I found it. This is the one right here.
Could you please read us the number?
Yes, sir. It's 4989596. That's my number, sir.
I see. Huh. But the number 4989596 is shown being used twice. Please explain, witness.
It's no real mystery, sir. The first time is when I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room. And the second time is when I went to go get him after everything settled down.
I see. So it was during that second time when...
Yes, sir. That was when I spotted the man on the security screen.
How do we not have that footage? That shit pisses me off. That's also why Marshall is so suspicious. Alright, so now we're just missing one. Hold on. I'm not actually going to present anything. I just want to look at this list again. So I assume we're just missing, yeah, 77777, whatever. 7777777. 420. Hey. All right. Okay, so Edgeworth, Meekins, Goodman, and Meekins at the same time. So who? That's got to be Gantz or Gantz. Okay.
I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked.
So you were attacked. Would you please tell us exactly what happened to you?
It was a knife, sir. A knife.
Detective Goodman pulled a knife on you? What happened then?
Well, with me charging in on him like that, he looked as surprised as I was.
You aren't exactly the kind of person someone would want to run into. I'm starting to wonder if maybe Goodman... Was he just moving evidence like as he was supposed to? For transferal? And then he confused it for a knife and then this whole skirmish happened? I don't know.
That's when I reacted, sir. I swung my arms like an octopus struggling to detain him.
Oh god. See, this is what I'm saying. Like, maybe it was a misunderstanding. Tragic one.
That's how I got this gash on my hand.
Maybe if you just kept your cool, your hand wouldn't be...
When I saw the blood trickling down my arm, I panicked. I grabbed the man by his collar.
Huh. Oh. I don't think, yeah, okay. Damn. What exactly do you mean when you say you did it?
I know I don't look like I know I don't look the type, but I'm really into kung fu films, sir. The man let his guard down for just an instant, so I snatched his knife from him.
You took his knife?
I spun him
Oh shit. God damn it.
I made sure to close my eyes like a man.
I see. He must have been desperate.
The next thing I knew, his white coat was drenched in a sea of my blood. And then, the next thing I knew,
Yes?
he punched me right in my face, sir.
Let's see, after that he passed out. Did we not press on this? About what time did you regain consciousness?
No offense, sir, but how am I supposed to know that? I was unconscious.
Oh, right. According to the report from the officer that woke up the witness, it was about 5:30.
He hit me right in the head, too. I woke up crying tears of pain.
That's nice. It's nice that you recovered, that is.
When I came around, though, I made sure to finish my mission, sir.
Your mission?
Yes, sir, the Blue Badger, sir. I returned him to the entrance before things got out of hand.
Well, we can all rest easy now. Yes, Your Honor, only one thing remains unclear. Was the man this officer murdered really the victim? He's got a point. Yes, Officer Meekins?
With regard to that, sir, take a look at this. It was sent to my jail cell. Chief Gott delivered it to me just this morning, sir.
The chief? Delivered it? What is that? A videotape?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's absolutely right, sir. A videotape, sir. It contains footage from the security camera in the evidence room.
Finally.
Objection!
What? But I specifically asked if there was such a tape. I was told that it had been mistakenly erased. That's quite a mistake.
I just do what I'm told, sir. It's the only thing I'm really good at.
Looks like communication with the police department is as good as ever. Well then, let's have a look. Show us the video of you murdering the victim.
Oh, please stop using that word murder, sir. It scares me.
A video of a real murder? Just what are we getting ourselves into? This music. 1714. So the club fell out. Oh shit. The knife wasn't broken in that video. Also, that knife looked way fucking bigger than a fucking switchblade. That looked like a goddamn chef's knife. Where the fuck did he go? How did he get past the camera? How does that make sense? What the hell?
Well, I believe we're all thinking the same thing. How can we deal with these unsettling feelings stirred within us?
What the hell was that wriggling piece of plywood?
Sir, that is the pride and joy of the entire criminal affairs department, sir. It's the Blue Badger, sir.
Why am I not surprised this isn't going smoothly? Damn.
Yes, well, anyway, this tape seems to prove that the witness did indeed encounter someone in the evidence room and some sort of...
Stop doing that. I don't know why it does this. Your Honor, instead of relying on clearly incomplete footage, the witness's testimony will suffice. Is that all right with you, Officer Meekins?
Yes, sir. As you wish, sir.
And what a mess.
His...
Excuse me.
His face can't be clearly seen in the video. But there's no question that the other person was Detective Goodman, sir. I mean, he opened the locker, which it required Detective Goodman's fingerprint to do. The locker he opened is unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker, sir. So it must be him. No one else could have unlocked it.
What's this about a fingerprint?
Each detective has been given a locker equipped with a fingerprint-activated lock. These locks ensure that each locker can only be opened by the detective it belongs to.
Intriguing. That would mean the victim at the crime scene would have to have been Detective Goodman. Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination.
I don't know where this cross-examination will lead, but everything begins with contradictions. That's where I have to start.
His face can't be clearly seen in the video.
Just gonna start pressing everything. Tell me, were you able to get a good look at him? At the face of the man who attacked you with a knife?
Sir, if you must label people as having seen or not seen the man's face, I believe I would be classified as the latter.
Okay. So not seen. The latter? But you were standing right in front of him, were you not?
More to the point, you are the person who fought him, aren't you?
Oh, yes, sir, but I didn't get a clear look at his face, sir. I'm not the kind of guy who looks directly at people when talking with them, you see?
Yeah, that's a good trait for a police officer.
Still, I'm sure it was him. I'd bet my badge on it. But there's no question that the other person was Detective Goodman, sir.
Huh. But you don't know that for sure, do you? You never actually saw Detective Goodman's face.
Well, I suppose you might say that. That is, if you must label people as having seen or not seen it.
Since his face can't be identified in the video, only you can verify it.
Well, why is everyone looking at me? If I had to label your stares as disturbing or...
Meekins. Having been shown a questionable video at best, we are not in the best of moods. Now please be more certain when you testify.
Yes, sir.
You claim the man who brandished a knife on you was Bruce Goodman. Tell us why you are positive it was him.
I mean, he opened the locker, which required Detective Goodman's fingerprint to do.
About these lockers, is there no other way to open them?
No, sir. I myself tried all kinds of methods in the past. They only respond to registered fingerprints, sir.
I wonder what kind of methods he's tried.
If the man opened the locker's lock, which only responds to its registered fingerprints, then he must be the person the locker was assigned to.
Exactly my point, sir. And this, too. The locker he opened was unquestionably ugly.
Okay. How do you know that information?
I've heard rumors, sir, from people in the know, sir.
People in the know?
The worker in the department cafeteria, sir. They keep me informed. They also listen to my romantic troubles, sir.
For the record, the open locker did indeed belong to Detective Goodman. I verified this information through a more reliable source.
So the victim opened the locker with his own fingerprint.
So it must be him. No one else could have unlocked it.
However, the most important detail is not shown in the video. The man's face.
Sir, if I may say something, sir.
Please do. After all, you are the one being examined.
I don't understand why the man's face is so important in this case, sir. I mean, it was his hand that opened the fingerprint lock. And it was his hand that tried to thrust his knife into my body, sir. My unsettled state can testify enough to this, sir.
Yes, you have a point. The footage doesn't lie.
That is, unless the defense can find a problem with it. Mr. Wright, let's check the court record again. Is there a problem with the security video? Yeah. Regarding the video contained on this tape, there is one thing in particular that seems rather strange.
Strange?
This contradiction leads to the possibility that the man may not have been Detective Goodman.
What? This video contains such a contradiction?
Interesting. Your Honor, I have a proposal.
Yes, Mr. Edgeworth.
I propose we have the defense point out to us this alleged contradiction in the video. You would want me to point it out.
Very well. Proposal accepted. Let us further inspect this piece of evidence. I will now play the security tape. Mr. Wright, please show us the contradiction you speak of.
I have to point out a problem in the video? This is the first time I've ever had to do that. You can do it, Mr. Wright. It's set up so you can fast forward, rewind, or pause the video. Just take a good look and be sure to point out the right thing.
Please don't play it too many times. I can't stand watching this video.
How did this guy ever become a police officer?
Now then, Mr. Wright, please enlighten us. Where is the contradiction that indicates the man may not be Detective Goodman?
Alright, let me fast forward a bit. Damn, you really can't see shit. Yeah, look at this knife. That's not the knife. Present. The thing that's strange about this video would have to be, this? Oh, come on.
Hold on a second. I need to use my eye drops. Well, I don't get it.
Would you mind if I borrowed your eye medicine?
Don't look at me with those bleary eyes.
Before your eyes get too teary, perhaps you should think this through again. Now, what do I do? Okay, play again, I guess. Very well, let's try this again. Just remember one thing, Mr. Wright. Every time you point your finger, someone gets hurt. Says the one pointing his finger at us.
I will now play the security tape. Mr. Wright,
Okay. Let's see. Hold on. Oh, court record. I see. I see. Oh, I can't present it. But like, this is very obviously a different knife. Oh, is this the knife? Oh. This is tough. Oh wait, okay. Let me check. So 514 would be Goodman. And it is in fact 514. This is a stumper, I'll tell you that much. This is tough. Did I miss something in the cross-examination, maybe? Oh, nice. I can go, like, frame by frame. This is tough. What am I looking? There's gotta be something. Damn, bro got fucking ragdolled. Damn flag. Fuck. Oh no. This is tough. Where does he go? What happened with the other stuff though? Like, tough. I'm gonna take a bit of a shot in the dark here. And I'm gonna say that it's the glove, maybe? And then if this fails, I think I'm gonna go back to the cross-examination because I think I'm missing something. The thing that's strange about this video has got to be this.
Yes, that is strange. Something certainly seems unnatural about that.
Objection!
What could it mean?
Oh, I was right. That was totally guessed. That's funny as fuck.
Sorry to interrupt, Mr. Wright, but you seem to have forgotten the point of this exercise.
The point?
What you are looking for is one thing and one thing only. Something that indicates the man may not be Detective Goodman.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, I almost walked right into the defense's trap.
I'll place him under arrest, sir.
Rats. I need to slow down and tackle these things one piece at a time. Now what do I do? Let me do the cross-examination. Seems I've been taking the wrong approach.
Now then, the defense may resume its cross-examination. Assuming the witness is still willing to continue, that is, Officer Meekins.
Yes, sir. It's my duty as an officer to help the lost, sir.
Law? Great. Now they think I'm lost. Let's see. Is it the lockers? Fuck, this is tough. Damn, okay. Let's see. Oh, wait a second. If he was in the trunk of Edgeworth's car, how could he... Fuck, man, this is tough. What am I missing? The loss of blood from a chest wound. Why is the knife broken? Oh, no. This is the murder weapon. This knife was found in the muffler of this car and is attached to a case that the victim worked on in the past. So this is not the murder weapon. Yeah. That's a good question. This is a real stumper. I'm a little tempted to look at a guide, but I kind of want to figure it out myself, you know? I won't be mad at, like, the passion, though. Yeah. Let's see. There's no print. Okay, can I watch the tape? And I doubt it, but let's try. I have so much evidence. Oh, I can. Okay, now, are they wearing gloves? Because if they're not, then it can't be. Alright. Oh, that is not really easy to tell. All right. Let's see here. What's this one called? Rise from Ash. Trial former. Okay. No, this doesn't seem right. Oh no, I think, did I miss? Is there more to this than I thought? Oh, I think there's a lot more to this than I thought. Wow, this is a in-depth case. Okay. Here we go. This is the right one. Okay. Mystery Man. Huh. Okay. Okay. Hold on. How do I get back to the video? Did I miss my chance for the video? I'm gonna try pressing on the last one. Huh. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Okay, here we go. There's a problem. I'll be honest, I'm not sure I understand what this solution, but maybe once I see it play out, it'll click. Okay.
Objection!
Okay. Oh, whoops, I went too far. Gotta go back. Oh, wow, I totally missed that. Okay, I see. Wow, okay, yeah, obviously. Okay, that makes so much more sense now. The thing that's strange about this video has got to be this. Officer Meekins?
Sir, do you mean me, sir?
As I understand it, the locker apparatus works like this. When you grab the handle, a sensor reads your fingerprint if it's a match. Aw, who's that? Is that, Gumshoe's locker? Who's the photo of? The light turns on and the lock is released.
According to my very limited experience, that's the way I understand it, sir.
If so, something is seriously wrong with this picture. Yeah. Damn. I totally forgot about that. I just whoosh completely over my head. When the victim reaches for the handle to open the locker, let's rewind a little earlier. What's that? Okay, sorry about that. All right, let's rewind a little earlier. Bum, 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 ba-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da, ba-bum, ba-dum, bum, bum. Here, Notice the light?
What's this? It's already lit.
It's lit. Precisely my point, Your Honor. The locker was already lit before the victim grabbed the handle.
Oh!
Order, order. What's the meaning of this?
It's very simple, Your Honor. The locker wasn't locked on the day of the crime. But the locker locks are controlled by an electronic system. When a door is shut, a sensor is triggered, and the locker is automatically locked.
Oh, I know. It must have broken down. Of course, I'm not an expert in this.
That's not likely, Your Honor. The sensor would detect and report any malfunction.
Oh, well. It just goes to show novices should keep their mouths shut. So then, Mr. Wright, do you have an explanation?
Me, Your Honor?
Yes. Why wasn't the locker locked?
Me, Your Honor? Yes, well, you see, this isn't exactly my field. What do you think? Oh, what do you think, Miss Scientific Investigator? Huh? Oh, maybe something like jam the system sensor? Something jammed the sensor? Say, there's something else in that. There's something else that seems out of place in this video. Yeah, I thought so too. There's gotta be another clue somewhere in this footage.
Very well. Let's inspect the video once more. The locker wasn't locked. Mr. Wright, please point out the cause for this.
Oops. Oops. Fast forward. This is definitely. This makes perfect sense now. Oh, too far. Rewind. Ah, it's rewind time. Please watch closely. This is the continuation of the part I showed you earlier.
What's this? Something white fell out of the locker.
Oh, but sir, it's been my experience that things fall out when doors are open. I often fall out and roll great.
We can't be sure that the item was completely inside the locker to begin with.
What do you mean?
The sensor triggers the lock when the door is shut. What if something was inserted, say, between the sensor and the door?
Inserted?
Bum, 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 bum. This white thing wasn't inside the locker. It was stuck between the door and the sensor.
Oh, I understand now, sir. It's just like my tie. 2 of 3 times it gets stuck in the door when I get out of my patrol vehicle, sir. Instead of the door closing.
But the object would have had to be extremely thin to fit in the door.
Not only that, it would have had to block electrical currents. It would need to be an insulator.
Yes, an insulator. But at the crime scene?
There just might have been something that fits the description.
But sir, by insulator, you don't mean...
I think I've finally got this figured out. At least this part.
Very well. Will the defense please present the relevant evidence? What was this insulator that was stuck in the locker door?
It's this. I found this near the locker. A thin rubber glove.
But we can't be sure that we can't be sure that was in the victim's locker.
It has a tag that says SL9 incident. The video seems to depict the victim opening the locker, but that isn't the case. The lamp lit attests to this. On the day of the crime, even I could have opened that locker. Is this not so, Officer Meekins?
Sir, it would appear so.
Order, order, order! So are we to believe then that the victim, whom this witness stabbed in the evidence room, was not Detective Goodman?
Do not be misled, Your Honor.
What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
The defense has merely demonstrated that possibility and nothing more. The victim in the video was indeed Bruce Goodman. The prosecution will offer one more testimony to prove this. What? Officer Meekins, please testify about this.
Sir, me, sir? I'm not sure what you're referring to, sir. Oh, you mean that, sir? Of course, sir.
Is this a joke?
Very well. Begin your testimony.
Mystery Man 2.
There's one thing that proves the man was Detective Goodman, sir. To enter the evidence room, one must use their ID card. When an ID card is issued, there's a record of it. At the time of the crime, the detective had used his card.
Okay.
An ID card record. I see.
I have the ID card record right here, Your Honor. The ID used at 5:14 is that of the victim.
Just before the crime. Yes, without a doubt, this is the victim's ID. However, one thing does strike me as unusual. Several hundred cases should have been due for transfer. Why were there so few people using this room?
This particular evidence room is only used for storing certain special cases. Special cases? Extremely violent cases involving police staff. Just hearing that makes my hair stand on edge. Me too, although it doesn't make much of a difference. There were only a few cases up for transferal there, and most were cleared up by noon.
Right, I see. Now, let us move on to the cross-examination.
Alright, I got a hunch. Let me see here. Damn, I was hoping this would have a time. I'm gonna keep it in my back pocket for now. So, unlike your earlier testimony, you believe this to be rock solid, do you?
Yes, sir. Solid as stone, sir. If my hand wasn't wrapped in bandages, I'd even give the V for victory sign, sir.
Didn't he just use his right hand for that?
Let's hear him out fully. As we've seen, one never knows what he might say until the very last second.
To enter the evidence room, one must use their ID card.
Is that card hanging from your neck one of these ID cards?
Yes, sir. This card right next to my cuff, sir. I keep it here so I will never forget it.
But what if someone were to steal it from you? Keeping it out in the open like that?
Maybe I shouldn't wear it around my neck. Remember when I said 2 out of 3 times my tie gets stuck when I get out of my car? Well, the remaining time it's my ID card that gets stuck.
Oh no.
Instead of the door.
Oh, god damn it. Maybe I should just leave this one alone. At any rate, each police officer has only one ID card. Both the police department and the prosecutor's office can attest to this.
Please proceed with your testimony.
When an ID card is used, there's a record of it.
Let it be noted that this is the record the witness referred to.
Let me see. Yes, that would be it, Detective Goodman.
What's the matter?
According to this, Mr. Edgeworth, your name is on here.
So it is, Your Honor. That prosecutor guy. Hey, maybe he's behind all this. Being a prosecutor, he could hide the evidence.
Mommy, is that man in blue a murderer? Shh, don't stare at him.
You've got the wrong color, kid. What? Oh, yeah. Oh, they thought it was Phoenix? That's so funny.
It would seem the inquiry committee will want to speak with you again today.
I have nothing to be ashamed of, I have nothing to be ashamed of regarding my actions or their consequences. For now, let us continue with the cross-examination. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. It must be so difficult for him.
At the time of the crime, the detective had used his card.
I'm gonna just try this.
Objection!
We'll see. Wait one moment, Officer Meekins.
I'm not good at waiting, sir.
I have the victim's ID card right here. I found it at the crime scene.
That makes sense.
When I say crime scene, I'm not referring to the evidence room at the police office. I mean the other crime scene. The underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. Your Honor, I have one more piece of evidence to present. It's a very important clue regarding the victim's ID.
Ah, a lost item report. It's only half completed.
But it shows that Detective Goodman had lost something on the day of the crime. Something important enough to fill out this report. Let me guess. You believe this something to be his ID card, right? I can't say for sure, but there is a high probability. On the day of the crime, Detective Goodman was not carrying his ID card.
Order, order. So now, what does this all mean?
It can only mean one thing. It doesn't even require much thought. The man Officer Meekins encountered in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman, but rather the man who stole his ID card.
Order, order, order. Does the prosecution have a response?
I have only one thing to say to the defense. Bravo, Mr. Wright. Bravo? Allow me to summarize the defense's argument. At 5:15 p.m. on the day of the crime, the man in the evidence room Officer Meekins encountered was not Detective Goodman. There are two grounds to support this. First, the locker in the evidence room was already unlocked. Second, the victim lost his ID card. Am I correct so far, Mr. Wright? Yes. What's he up to? That being the case, we must inevitably arrive at a single conclusion. If the victim in this video is a fake, then the murderer in the evidence room is also a fake. In other words, the security camera does not show the instant of the murder. That is... Well, I guess that's right. Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Only moments ago, you seemed content to be pointing your finger around. This isn't going to end well. Well, it seems you finally realized exactly what you've gone to such lengths to prove.
Explain yourself, Mr. Edgeworth.
The defense has already done the explaining for me. The victim in this video is a fake, which means a murder did not take place at the police department at 5:15 on the day of the crime.
So
the real crime could only take place at one location, the underground parking lot, at the prosecutor's office. The murderer being Miss Lana Skye, the defendant. Oh shit. Also, here comes ads again. We'll be free for another hour after this, so I appreciate y'all hanging tight through it. I'll see you in a little bit. The evidence is compelling. a trustworthy witness. Observe the moment of the defendant used the murder weapon. Oh. Whoops. I knew that testimony was way too shabby. It was all a trap from the beginning.
The activity in the evidence room still leaves many questions unanswered. Who exactly was the victim Officer Meekins encountered? And where did this person disappear to? However, this trial's purpose is to examine only the murder of Detective Goodman. Just
so, Your Honor.
Mr. Wright, you have to do something, or else Lana...
What do I do? How am I supposed to get myself out of this mess? Object.
Objection!
One moment, Your Honor. What now, Mr. Wright? Don't tell me you're objecting to what you've just proven. Of course not. But I almost walked right into the prosecution's trap. What are you talking about? This cross-examination has proven one thing and one thing only. The security video did not show the actual murder. The fact they show the whole thing every time is hilarious. Oh, this is beautiful. However, it cannot be said that this is unrelated to the murder in the parking lot. Specifically, large amounts of blood traces were found in the evidence room. The defense demands further examination into the truth of this matter.
Mr. Edgeworth.
Yes, Your Honor.
If this court were to examine this further, other witnesses will be necessary. Is the prosecution prepared?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. The prosecution considered the incident at the police department to be unrelated. We have not prepared any other witnesses for this incident. This just might be my chance. Time to call a certain Texas Ranger to the stand. Nice. Mr. Wright, do you mean? Your Honor, the defense would like to request a specific witness.
Oh? Whom do you have in mind?
Someone we have reason to believe knows the truth. The truth behind the activities that took place in the evidence room. The prosecution requests to hear this person's name before deciding whether or not to comply.
Very well then, Mr. Wright. This person whom you would have testify, what is his or her name?
Jake Marshall. They kind of spoon-fed that one to us. Officer Jake Marshall. Why him? I can't let Edgeworth know everything just yet. He's in charge of the evidence room. I feel we should hear what he has to say. The prosecution agrees to the defense's request. Since he was responsible for guarding the room, we should hear his testimony. Fortunately, he works in the police department. We shouldn't need longer than 20 minutes to prepare.
Very well. The court will take a 30-minute recess while the witness is subpoenaed. Will the prosecution please prepare the witness during this time?
We will, Your Honor.
Court is now in recess.
February 24th, 11:32 a.m. District Court Defendant Lobby Number 2. There's no stopping you, is there, Mr. Wright? Huh? What do you mean? You called for Jake Marshall. It seems you figured everything out. I haven't figured anything out. Anna. You're the one who knows everything. Sick. There we go. Emma. You always know everything. Why don't you just tell us? Mr. Wright is trying his hardest to protect you. I don't recall ever asking for his protection. How can you be so cold? Don't you trust us? Don't you trust me?
Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Oh, yes I am. I'll come back later.
Aw. Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it?
You's got a lot of nerve, pal, making the detective run all around while on duty. And to top it off, you's called me here. I've seen happier people at funerals.
Sorry, Detective.
You's better be, pal. Hey, I didn't see you's there, Chief Prosecutor Sky.
That's okay. So, have you brought what I asked?
Yous means this, right?
My apologies, Detective. Due to my present circumstances, I was forced to use Mr. Wright's name when making my request.
My name? Never in a million years would I have thought it was yous who asked me. Could I bother you to bring me the SL9 incident files? I'll need them by noon. Talk about crazy.
The SL9 incident? But, Lana, that's... I thought Mr. Wright might need them, so I had them brought here. Here, you might do well to read them.
I can't believe yous, the chief prosecutor, were a witness in that case.
Miss Sky was a witness? Alright, guess we'll have to look this over.
Take it from me, yous don't want anything to do with serial murders. Oh, what? Now that I brought you your stuff, you're just gonna ignore me?
Emma? But why? Why is your name in here? What? My name is in there? I don't know. Unless... Oh, it couldn't be. Lana, this SL9 incident, is that... That's the classification number the police filed it under. 2 years ago, the rest of the world knew it as the Joe Dark killings. The Joe Dark. Oh, no, Lana. It's over with. No. Uh-oh. Emma, wait. She ran away.
You know what? I just remembered. I gotta be somewhere. Sorry, pal, but I'm out of here.
Jake Marshall, Angel Starr, Damon Gaunt, Miles Edgeworth. Not to mention Lana and Emma. Everyone involved in this case is connected to those killings 2 years ago. This can't be just a coincidence. Knowing you, you just might be able to figure it out. Time to get back to the trial, Mr. Wright. Best of luck. I'd better take a good look at this file. Damn. Yeah, I'm definitely going to take a look at this file before we get into anything into this next section of the trial. February 24th, 12:14 p.m., District Court, Courtroom Number 9.
The court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Sky.
Emma didn't come back. Right, let me check the court record real quick. Damn, it's a big fat stack of stuff. Okay. Incident number SL9, closed. Perpetrator, Joe Dark, crime, serial murder, sentence, death. Victims, Edward Jones, Jason Knight, Edith Kirby, Rachel Moss, Jeb Bates, Neil Marshall. Trial data, head prosecutor, Miles Edgeworth. Witness, Lana Sky, Emma Sky. Investigation Task Force. Executive Investigators Damon Gaunt and Lana Sky. Head Investigators Bruce Goodman. Investigators Jake Marshall, Angel Star. This does not really have any information, huh? Alright, I guess. Okay. Anyway, allow me to call the next witness to the stand. The officer in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime. Witness, please state your name and occupation. Me, partner? Oh, I'm just a man, same as you, wandering the trails of civilization. Occasionally helping elderly across intersections when needed. Yes, we get it.
Oh, I know. You're a patrolman.
As for my name, if you listen hard enough, you can hear the howling wind calling it out. To be exact, it's Jake Marshall, Your Honor. Howling wind? I've never heard Edgeworth described that way before. Now, Mr. Marshall, let me ask you something. You were in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day the crime took place. Is this correct? According to the papers, partner.
What do you mean?
The desperado's soul is as boundless as the desert sands. No paper can sum it up.
Maybe it's best we get on with this quickly. Please share with us your testimony of the day of the crime. In plain old English.
My job was to keep a wary eye on that bone orchard. They said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. Besides, the room's protected by 2 security systems anyway. If I remember right, I was at a street side saloon at the time it went down. I'm just an innocent traveling man, so if you're out of ammo, it's time to hit the trail.
I can't say I particularly care for your attitude.
I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining. Wait a minute. What do you mean by 2 security systems? I mean the security cameras and the ID card reader. I reckon even a cowpoke like you knows about those. Yes, well, what about the fingerprint-activated locks on the evidence locker? Fingerprint-activated locks? What kind of newfangled doohickeys are those? He's not being very helpful. He's not that good with machines, or with following orders. Everyone's got their weaknesses now, don't they, Mr. Prosecutor?
This one seems like trouble. Okay, Mr. Wright, he's all yours.
One sec, let me get some water. I'll be right back. Excuse me. Alrighty. My job is to keep a wary eye on that bone orchard. But I have a hunch that I just want to jump to. Maybe I shouldn't. Press. How exactly did you keep an eye on the evidence room? I made just sure nothing moved in the security camera monitor. That room's so still, even time dies in there. I was just a caretaker who interred the recordings. You interred them? Videos of nothing aren't that useful. When the time would come, I'd erase the tape. If nothing unusual is recorded, tapes are to be erased every 6 hours. Each time I'd erase a tape, it felt like I was erasing a part of my life. This guy has a flair for the dramatic, but it isn't gonna do him any good. So, in actuality, you don't physically enter the evidence room. Well, they said I was supposed to make the rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. But you made your rounds on the day of the crime, right? Ain't you heard a word I said, partner? I told you that ain't my style. I'm afraid I don't understand. No desperado, I know let's... No desperado, I know lets rules get in his way. No desperado I know joins the police force.
So, Officer Marshall, on the day of the crime,
Just between you and me, I didn't set foot in the evidence room that day.
there was a rubber glove stuck in the victim's locker. Do you know anything about that?
Sorry, partner, can't say I do. I haven't been in that crypt in weeks. How does this guy avoid being fired? It's a great question. The room's protected by 2 security systems anyway. You used to be a detective, so you've used the evidence room in the past, correct? Of course. Back in the day, my locker was a gold mine of evidence. And yet, you didn't know about the fingerprint locking mechanism? Sorry, partner. I ain't good with machines. I couldn't even tell you how a bike works. That's quite incredible. The sensors on the locker handles cannot be seen. It's well known that some detectives are unaware of their presence. Now that he mentions it, Detective Gumshoe said something like that too.
At any rate, it doesn't seem that this is relevant to the crime. Can you tell us what you were doing when the crime took place?
If I remember right, I was at a street side saloon the time it went down. Alright, now we have...
Objection!
I feel like this is the one, right? Officer Marshall, doesn't it strike you as odd? That is, you being called in to testify like this? After all, you weren't in the security room at the time of the crime. And yet you dragged me down here. Explain yourself, partner. It's quite simple. You left a very large trail behind at the scene. Or to be exact, a handprint. Huh. Listen real good, partner. Like I said, I'm the caretaker of that crypt. I pay my respects, that is, make my rounds about once a month. It's only natural my fingerprints would be in there.
Objection!
I only wish it were, officer. Well, you see, your fingerprints were covered in blood.
Witness, what is the meaning of this? Your blood-stained fingerprints were at the crime scene.
The blood was wiped away, however. A luminal test clearly revealed this. Well, Officer Marshall, it seems to me there ain't a person in this room with a head on his shoulders. I take it you have an explanation then, Officer Marshall, about the blood-stained fingerprints?
Very well, you may begin your testimony about your fingerprints, found at the scene of the crime.
Like I said, it's only natural for my fingerprints to be in that evidence room. One of them just happened to be at the same place as the bloodstained handprints. The murderer touched the locker where my fingerprint was by chance. The bloodstain and the fingerprint are completely unrelated. Or didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves? See, I had nothing to do with it.
The witness's explanation appears valid, although there's room for doubt.
Life wouldn't be fun without any doubt, partner.
The defense may now cross-examine the witness.
This guy's hiding something. I can feel it. Now's my chance to prove it. Alright. Like I said, it's only natural. That's because you, how did you put it, pay your respects once a month? Yeah, that's right. That and one more thing. That locker happens to be mine.
What? What do you mean?
I mean what I said. That's the locker I used when I was a detective. Locker I still use. All that's in there now, though, is a heap of broken dreams. I see. It'd be strange if my prints weren't all over that locker. Apparently, his fingerprint data was never removed from that locker's programming. He must have been using the fingerprint lock all this time without ever knowing it. One of them just happened to be at the same place. Let's see. So then, what about the bloody handprints? Wasn't mine. It's no mystery.
Please explain.
My locker is covered with my fingerprints. It just so happened the murderer touched the locker. The chances of that happening are 1,000,000 to 1. On the contrary, one could argue just the opposite. The chances of that not happening are 1,000,000 to 1. Get one thing straight, partner. You ain't gonna get no reward from me with a mere fingerprint. Wanna know why? The blood stain and the fingerprint are completely unrelated. Unrelated? They're as different as night and day. Kinda like cereal and cereal. One's got to do with breakfast while the other's a type of murderer.
He's right, although seemingly alike, they are totally different.
I don't see what homonyms have to do with this. Or didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves? Was he though? This is tough. How do you know that? I may be a loner, but I still do my job. I keep up on the reports. There was a blood stain at the scene, thought to be left by the murderer. That's right. It was found on Detective Gumshoe's locker. However, no fingerprints were detected on that handprint. Oh yeah, I think we tried that too.
So that would mean the murderer wearing gloves happened to place their hand on top of Officer Marshall's fingerprint.
Well, that's the only logical conclusion. Are you starting to get the picture, partner? The picture? The seal of blood in the desert is food for the buzzards. There's only one reality, and that's this. Security tape. So long as my trail isn't in there, you can't say otherwise. Alright, but what's...
And this isn't getting us anywhere, Mr. Wright. Please consider carefully where you're going with this cross-examination.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now then, continue your testimony, Officer Marshall.
The witness's statement. Ah, fuck. Let's see. Damn. Okay. Let me try pressing. What do you mean by that? You want to tie me to this crime, isn't that right, partner? If so, that video is the only direct evidence you have. But that video is next to useless. It's full of blind spots.
Blind spots.
Places you can't see. The camera's panning back and forth. The floor isn't shown. If someone was familiar with the camera's position, they could leave the room without being caught on tape. We don't have time for your speculations, Mr. Wright.
Well, Mr. Wright, if you can show us evidence in this video that indicates Officer Marshall was present, please do so now.
Very well. Allow me to point out your mistake, Officer Marshall. Read carefully, Mr. Wright, or you might wind up being the one making a mistake.
Now then, let's have another look at the video. Show us this incriminating evidence of the witness, Officer Jake Marshall.
Bringing our attention back to the security camera is a mistake I'm afraid you'll soon not forget, Officer Marshall. Well, the days are short in Texas, and so are our tempers. Could you sum up what you have to say in 8 words or less? Very well. You can clearly be seen in this video. Exactly 8 words. Not bad, partner. The key lies in a certain locker shown in the video. That locker with the white cloth sticking out. That was the witness's, I believe. Now then, let's rewind the video a bit.
Oh, the white cloth, it's gone. What's the meaning of this, Officer Marshall?
When the crime took place, the white cloth wasn't there. Then, it suddenly appeared. There's only one explanation. Officer Marshall, you were in the evidence room at the time of the crime. What's more, you opened your locker when the camera was turned away.
Order, order.
Hold your horses. Sorry, partner, but you got the wrong man. So what if my locker was open? That doesn't mean I'm the one who opened it. The murderer needed to hide something, so he opened a locker and stuck it in. It's not my fault he happened to choose mine. Why is everyone staring at me like I'm a wanted man? This guy isn't just playing dumb. He really doesn't know. I hate to rain on your parade, but you're the only person who can open that particular locker. Oh yeah? I call your bluff. You say I opened that locker, now prove it. Fingerprint sensor. We talked about this earlier today. The locker can only be opened by detectives they belong to. Well, what kind of crazy talk is this? Well, Detective Gumshoe did mention something about this. In any case, the locks aren't that obvious. There are even some people on the force that don't know about the fingerprint locks. So, Sheriff, what do you have to say in 8 words or less? Is that jerky? Where'd you get that? I only got 1 word for you, partner. No!
Order, order, order. Witness, explain yourself.
If this is a joke, it's the worst joke I've ever heard. I assure you this is no joke, Officer Marshall. Now then, please tell us what you were doing in the evidence room at the time of the crime.
Olay, please answer the question.
What is he now, a bullfighter? That's all right, Officer Marshall. I believe we can figure the rest out from here.
We can?
Have a look at these floor plans. There's no place for someone to hide in the evidence room. Yet Officer Meekins didn't see Officer Marshall.
If that's so, then where was the witness?
It seems Mr. Wright has an answer. That's right. The only possible conclusion.
Well then, let's hear it. Where was Officer Marshall at the time of the crime?
Right about here. Officer Marshall was standing right here.
So Officer Meekins didn't notice him standing there. That's almost as credible as Meekins' warp theory.
Your chamber's empty, partner. Better reload. Now they're ganging up on me.
Perhaps you should think a little more. Okay.
That means the only place he could have been would be... Let's see. Officer Marshall was standing right here.
There. But that's where the victim, Detective Goodman, was.
Oh, fuck, that's right. I got them confused. Okay, that makes sense. I was like, no, he's the killer. Correct. Unless the man wasn't Detective Goodman. I believe the victim in the video is Officer Marshall. It was you dressed up like Detective Goodman. But that's preposterous. Officer Meekins witnessed the detective at the crime scene. Once he saw the man's face, he'd know for sure. May I point out, though, that Officer Meekins did not know Detective Goodman. He also testified about the man's reaction when confronted.
When I entered the evidence room, I asked him to show his card, sir.
Yes? And how did Detective Goodman respond?
He suddenly pulled a knife on me.
Something about the officer's story puzzled me. If the man had his ID card, why didn't he just show it?
Yes, he would have needed it to enter the evidence room, so he must have been carrying it.
The answer is simple. He couldn't show it. As you can see, Detective Goodman's picture is on his ID card.
Oh, I get it.
If he showed that, his cover would have been blown. Officer Meekins would have realized the man wasn't Detective Goodman. Do you have anything to say to this, Officer Marshall? You've got quite an imagination, partner. We got a term for that. It's called circumstantial evidence. Circumstantial evidence? He's still denying it. You're gonna have to do better than that to break a detective. Unless you have hard evidence proving I dressed up as the victim.
I can't say I particularly care for your uncooperative disposition.
I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining.
Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any evidence proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that Officer Marshall dressed up as the victim?
Well, who am I kidding? I don't have anything like that. I can see the fear in your eyes, partner. Seems you're the one who couldn't take the desert heat. This can't be happening. It's so obvious he's the one. What can I do? It looks like your lack of experience has finally been exposed. I'll pass on to you what someone told me when I was just starting out. When you run into a wall with no place to go, return to the basics. The basics? For me, that would be what Mia used to tell me. Phoenix, try thinking outside the box. I shouldn't look for proof that Officer Marshall was in disguise, but rather, I should look for evidence that came about because he was in disguise. Why do you think this locker door was opened in the first place?
What do you mean?
There's no reason for Officer Marshall to open his locker at the time of the crime. Yet he did, despite the chance it might be discovered later as it has been. Which means he didn't originally plan to open his locker.
According to the defense's argument, Officer Jake Marshall dressed up as Detective Goodman at the time of the crime. Then, after the crime was committed, he opened his own locker for some unknown reason.
The fact that a white cloth is sticking out of the locker seems to indicate that. He opened it in order to put the cloth inside.
So, just what exactly is this piece of cloth?
Perhaps the video is the key to all our unanswered questions. I don't have any evidence, so this video is my only shot.
Very well. Let's take yet another look. After committing the crime, the witness opened the locker to put away the white cloth. Please show us why the witness. Okay.
For some reason, you disguised yourself as Detective Goodman and entered the evidence room, though I don't know to what end yet. Yeah. However, something unexpected happened. Officer Meekins barged in on you. When asked to show your ID card, you pulled a knife on him. However, Officer Meekins panicked, and the white coat you were wearing was soiled with blood.
A bloody white coat.
Couldn't just walk out like that, so you hid the coat in your locker. Not bad, partner.
Now then, Officer Marshall, are you ready to tell us the truth?
Looks like I underestimated y'all. I hope you're happy now, Mr. Edgeworth. 2 years ago. If you were only half as persistent then as you are today, we all wouldn't have to be here now would we? Officer Marshall, tell the court what you did. All of it. All right. It seems the time has come. I had to do it that day. I couldn't just stand by and let it die. I stole the detective's ID and dressed like him. I planned to take out the evidence. I wasn't expecting Officer Makins. I knocked him out. Managed to escape. Knew which areas wouldn't be caught on camera. There wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15.
So the supposed victim was really you.
But there's one thing I still don't understand. Traces of a large quantity of blood were found on the floor of the evidence room. If no one was murdered, then how could that be? Officer Makins managed to cut his own hand. My guess is that he's the donor. It was way too much blood for such a small donation. I had to do it that day. I just couldn't stand by and let it die. When you say it, you mean... Do you even have to ask, partner? The SL9 incident. 2 years have passed since that case was closed. It was going to completely end with the transferal that day. Not if I have anything to do with it. That incident's not over. But what did you hope to accomplish by sneaking into the evidence room? When a case is closed, only that case's lead detective can look through the evidence. I wanted to have a look at it myself one more time. No matter what the cost. I don't care what anyone says, partner. That case is mine. But Officer Marshall wasn't in charge of that investigation. Why does he care so much about it? That day was my last chance. That's why I stole the detective's ID and dressed like him. I planned to take out the evidence. Why did you disguise yourself as Detective Goodman? If I didn't make it look like Goodman was carrying out the evidence transferal, I'd be arrested for stealing evidence, which wouldn't get me anywhere. So you did it to fool the security camera.
And the detective's ID card?
I stole that the morning of the incident. So that really was why Goodman started filling out the lost item report. I returned his ID card. I left it on the floor in the prosecutor's office parking lot. The ID card I found was left there by Officer Marshall. So essentially, you managed to succeed despite your lack of foresight. What do you mean, partner? I mean the fingerprint-activated lock, of course. No matter how well you can disguise yourself, you can't change your fingerprints. Under normal circumstances, you wouldn't have been able to open the locker yourself. But he could because the rubber glove just happened to get stuck in the door. That means Detective Goodman must have opened the locker before Officer Marshall. I wasn't expecting Officer Makins. I knocked him out. You pulled a knife on Officer Meekins and tried to drive him off. Let's just say I was a little surprised. I only planned on being in the evidence room for no more than 5 minutes. I didn't think anyone would actually come in during that short time.
Officer Meekins certainly is a 1 in a million type of person. Mistaking a detective for an intruder and demanding to be shown his ID.
I'll have to think a little more about his raise this year. When did Edgeworth get so much influence? Anyway, he threw himself at me and I ended up cutting him slightly. I'm sorry it had to turn out that way, with me knocking him out and everything. By the way, What happened to your knife? Oh, you mean this one? I don't know what to say.
So you knocked Officer Meekins out
And managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't be caught on camera. So you did your research beforehand. Those who go into the desert unprepared don't live long. I didn't think it would make a difference though. Security tape is erased every 6 hours. If all had gone as planned, no footage would have been left. However, you bloodied your coat in your struggle with Officer Meekins. If someone was in the security room when I came out, the jig would have been up. Opened my locker and stashed it in there. What was Officer Meekins doing during that time? What else? He was sleeping like a baby.
So what you're saying is on that day,
There wasn't any murder in the evidence room. But the blood found in the scene certainly indicates a crime took place. What are you, blind? The victim shown on that tape is me, and I'm not dead yet, partner. So, you stole the evidence from the locker. Actually, no, I didn't. Why not? When I opened the locker, the evidence was already gone.
what? Mr. Edgeworth, where is that evidence?
It's still missing, Your Honor. Detective Goodman's locker was already empty? Someone else stole the evidence. Officer Marshall, may I ask you one thing? Fire away, partner. It's a free country. Just remember, I'm also free to decide whether or not to answer. Why did you do this? Stealing a detective's ID? Injuring a police officer? This is no small offense. Moreover, you're an officer yourself. This will have serious consequences. It can't just be forgiven with a simple cut in salary. Not that salary cuts are ever a valid solution. Like I said, this isn't your case. This one's mine. And I'll do anything it takes to get an answer I'm satisfied with.
The witness has an unusual amount of zeal. Let's hear more.
I can't just forget the SL9 incident. You know why? No, I don't. Tell me why. But the case was solved 2 years ago, wasn't it?
That's the reason the evidence was stored in the evidence room.
Joe Dark was convicted for his crimes. One thing I can say for sure is he deserved his sentence.
I remember the Joe Dark case. It involved serial murders, didn't it?
I don't intend to complain about how it turned out, but there's something that still bothers me. Something went down at that trial. Something no one will talk about.
What happened?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to find out. Why is he so concerned with that incident? Maybe I should present him with what I think is his... Maybe I should present him with what I think his real reason is. I had a feeling we'd wind up here sooner or later. Everyone involved here is related in some way to that case. I better take another look at the files. Let's see. Okay, that makes sense. Zeds.
Objection!
Officer Marshall, I think I understand. I think I know why you care so much about the SL9 incident. Sounds like you've been sipping too much cactus juice, partner. I have the SL9 incident file here. The name, Marshall, is mentioned in there. And a list of murder victims. Neil Marshall. Are you related to this man? Neil Marshall. Yeah. I'm sure you've heard the name. 2 years ago, he received the same lousy prosecutor award you got.
What? A prosecutor?
You must be talking about the King of Prosecutors Award. Now I remember. Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He handled the SL9 case before I did. That's right. He was killed, and the case fell into your hands.
But what's his relation to you?
He was my brother. He was investigating the murders with Damon Gaunt, the then deputy chief of police. The group of detectives I was part of worked under them. We were desperate to prosecute the killer. Joe Dark. My brother fought Dark and was killed. That was the first time Dark left behind any evidence. That was all we needed. He was arraigned and incarcerated. The case was finally closed. At least, according to the public records.
What do you mean?
My brother couldn't have been killed by Joe Dark. I knew my brother better than anyone. No one could have beaten him in a fight. And that's it. That's your reason for your insane actions. There's more to my brother's death than what the records say. No matter how much you try to hide it, you can't fool me.
Well, at least one thing's for certain. Now we know what happened at the police department on the day of the crime.
That was the last day the SL9 case could be reopened. Not satisfied with its resolution, Officer Marshall planned to steal the evidence. Disguising himself as Detective Goodman, he entered the evidence room. Officer Meekins confronted him, so he rendered him unconscious and fled. Yes, this mystery has finally been cleared up. No murder took place at the police department that day. The things that happened by chance never cease to amaze me. At exactly the same time as the murder at the prosecutor's office, this fake murder was going on at the police department. Chance? It's gotta be just more than just that.
So if no one was murdered at the police department on the day of the crime, that means the murder in the prosecutor's office parking lot was the real one.
Which in turn means only one person could have committed the crime. Chief Prosecutor Lana Sky.
Objection!
But wait! A verdict wasn't reached in yesterday's trial.
Objection!
Which is why we examined the incident at the police department today. But there's only one reason the defendant was not convicted yesterday. There yet remained the mystery of the simultaneous murder at the police department. It seems to me this boy's got the draw on you, partner. All of the mysteries that the police department have been resolved, no doubt about it. Our sole murder took place at the prosecutor's office. The only suspect is Lana Sky, and the testimony of one Miss Angel Star is completely incontestable. If you have a response, make it a single word or less. I rest my case.
It seems this trial has reached its conclusion. There is no room for doubt.
Well done, Mr. Wright. Thanks to you, I didn't need to waste my time. disproving the alleged murder at the police office department. There's no doubt that what I proved today is true. The apparent murder on the security camera's tape really was fake. I didn't realize. That would end up proving Lana guilty.
Now then, the time for this verdict has arrived. The court finds the defendant...
Your Honor, wait. Emma, the defense has an objection, a scientific objection, right? What do you mean, right?
Mr. Wright, are you this girl's guardian?
Your Honor. Oh, in a sense. Please, Your Honor, all I'm asking for is a minute of your time. Please hear me out. Mr. Edgeworth, please. I don't want to leave any loose ends. You want a minute? I'll give you 3. Well, that was very fair of him. I was kind of in shock. I mean, finding out the SL9 incident referred to the Joe Dart killings. Now that she mentioned it, the names of both the Sky Sisters were in that file. That's when I figured it out. I mean, what Officer Marshall was trying to do that day. So I knew his fingerprint had nothing to do with the crime. That left only one thing, and the other handprint. You mean the traces of blood found on Detective Gumshoe's locker?
But no fingerprints were found on it, right?
No, but I figured if I examined it scientifically, I'd be sure to find a clue. So I ran over there and looked at it again. So, did you find something? No. Huh? Sorry. I guess I'm not much of a scientific investigator after all. Is that all? Please don't be mad. I'm just a high school student. And I'm just an attorney. But Mr. Wright, those traces of blood are the only clue we have. If we can't find something wrong with them, please, Mr. Wright, you're a professional. If anyone can save Lana, it's you. Me? Oh boy.
Time's up. Now then, Mr. Wright. With regard to the incident at the police department, does any reasonable doubt remain?
It appears the defense is troubled by the other blood mark. Looking at the floor plans, a handprint was discovered around here. Is there a problem with this? Mr. Wright, I'm sorry I can't be of more use, but still, if you can find anything wrong with that blood mark, Lana will be...
Please answer my question, Mr. Wright. We don't have all day.
Yes, Your Honor. If ever I've needed to concentrate, it's now. I actually have this one solved. What could be wrong with that handprint on Detective Gumshoe's locker? Could there be something I'm missing? Objection! Yeah, the little duder thing. This handprint left at the crime scene clearly shows a contradiction. The only thing that seems clear is your grasping, Mr. Wright.
You've been staring pretty intently at those floor plans. Tell me, is there a problem with them?
Yes, this is strange. Take a good look at these floor plans. Something is missing. Missing? You mean something hasn't been drawn on there? Yes, something that when drawn will completely change the meaning of the blood mark.
Let us pray the defense isn't simply trying to buy time. Very well, Mr. Wright.
With all this evidence here, there's gotta be something I can use.
The question is,
which item can
prove something is missing in the floor plans? This.
What about that piece of plywood? The Blue Badger, mascot of the police force, defender of truth, guardian of proof. Explain yourself, Mr. Wright. Please look at the floor plans of the crime scene. The Blue Badger is not here. So watch what happens when we put him in. Watch what happens when we put him in. This is where he was dancing at the time of the crime. Well?
Well, what?
That's right. So long as the Blue Badger is dancing here, it would be impossible to place a handprint at this spot on the locker. What?
So that means, just exactly what does that mean?
It means it can't be done.
What are you saying? Blood traces were undeniably found on that locker.
Don't look at me. I didn't put it there. Mr. Wright, think it through scientifically. Emma. On that afternoon, Officer Meekins was the one who brought the Officer Meekins was the one who brought the Blue Badger into the evidence room, right? After he put it down, it would be impossible to leave a handprint on that locker. So that must mean this blood mark was left there before the Blue Badger was brought in.
Just one moment. I will not allow such far-fetched balderdash in my courtroom.
It may sound far-fetched, Your Honor, but it's the only possible explanation. On February 21st, in the police department's evidence room, blood was spilled not once, but twice. But how? One time was captured on this tape, taken by the security camera. Officer Meekins cut his hand from which a trivial amount of blood fell. The problem is, the other time. Someone bled prior to the struggle shown on this tape. It had to have been. It had to have been Detective Goodman when he was really murdered.
Objection!
That's ridiculous. I refuse to accept your absurd claim.
Objection!
The murder portrayed in the security tape has been proven to be a fake. However, that does not explain the blood mark found on the locker.
Objection!
So then, assuming this murder you purport really happened, when did it take place? I demand you show evidence that proves when it occurred. When did the first incident occur?
To summarize, the defense claims that prior to Officer Meekins being cut by Jake Marshall, who was posing as Detective Goodman, another incident took place in that evidence room.
That's right. The blood mark on the locker proves it.
Very well. Then tell us, when did this first incident occur? As Mr. Edgeworth said, proof must be presented.
Proof that shows when the murder took place. There's only one piece of evidence that could show that.
Now then, will the defense please present its evidence? What shows...
Yeah, I know. I got this. If a crime took place inside the evidence room, then the killer would have had to enter it. In order to do so, an ID card would have been required.
An ID card? Oh, the ID card record.
Officer Meekins brought the Blue Badger panel into the evidence room at, let's see here,
4:50 p.m. If the crime took place before that time, then it would be 4:40 p.m. Miles Edgeworth, just what have you done?
I never would have figured you'd have the nerve, boy. Drop the act, witness. It doesn't take a lot of thought to figure it out. Figure out it couldn't have been me. Nope, I ain't getting it.
I'm afraid I don't understand either.
It's clear from the luminal test that the blood was there. However, when a second crime took place, both Officer Meekins and Officer Marshall failed to notice the blood. That means the blood from the first crime was wiped away by the real murderer. I would have had just 10 minutes to murder the victim, carry his body away, and clean up the blood. Unfortunately, that's physically impossible.
That would mean The crime must have taken place before Mr. Edgeworth entered the evidence room.
Let's look at the chart again. There's only one other card number remaining. Talk about a lucky number.
Oh wait, that doesn't make sense. How could Detective Goodman have entered the evidence room?
Since there's no record of his card being used beforehand, he must have entered along with the real murderer. That's the only plausible explanation. He went in with 777-7777.
Mr. Edgeworth, please look into this ASAP. Find out whose ID number is 7... Yeah.
That's 17 too many, Your Honor. Unfortunately, I'm unable to look up the owner of that ID card. At least at present. What? Explain yourself, son. The ID number 777-7777 belongs to someone with a rank of captain or higher. Someone who is a so-called executive officer. We don't have the authority to inquire into such a person's identity. But that's ridiculous. Just how? I'm not finished talking, Mr. Wright. There is one situation in which we can be granted such authority.
If an official charge filed against an executive is accepted.
An official charge? You're all alike, aren't you? With your cover-ups and your forgeries. That's how the prosecutor's office operates. I take pride in my work, Officer Marshall. I would appreciate it if you keep your slander to yourself. Slander, is it? Okay. Let me ask a question. Yes? No, not to you. To her, the defendant sitting over there. Your own little executive. Lana? Don't be stupid. She's been charged with murder. Of course, we've looked up her ID number, and it's not 777-7777. Don't play me for a fool, partner. That's not what I want to ask. All I want to know is one thing about that incident.
The SL9 incident.
Answer me this, Chief Prosecutor. In that trial 2 years ago, did you really only use legitimate evidence? Do you need the witness to repeat his question, Chief Prosecutor? I heard him fine, Mr. Edgeworth. 2 years ago, I was in charge of the prosecution for that trial. At the time, occasionally, we felt the powerlessness of the law. At least, I did. Lana? I became a prosecutor in order to suppress crime with the law. But before I realized it, we were the ones being suppressed by the law.
Defendant, just what are you saying?
I'll ask you again, Chief Prosecutor. During that trial 2 years ago, did you really present all the evidence in court? Can you look me and the investigator in that crime in the eye and say that you did?
Chief Prosecutor, you didn't.
I don't have to, Officer Marshall. Well, why won't you answer him? Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to do in order for him to get the verdict he deserved. But Lana, even if it involved forging evidence. See? That's what I'm talking about.
No. No! Order! Order! Order!
Lana's remarks caused such a stir. The chaos in the courtroom could not be quelled. The conclusion of the trial would have to be delayed for the following day. God damn. All right. Well, this game is this episode is substantially longer than I thought. So I am going to call it here again for today. I am once again surprised to find out that we did not reach the conclusion. That said, thank you so much for hanging out. I appreciate you being here. I hope you had some fun. I will see you tomorrow for the conclusion of this. This is the trial that just keeps on going. This has to be the last day though, right? So we'll finish this up tomorrow. Then maybe start a new game depending how long it takes. If it's quick, we'll start a new game tomorrow. Otherwise, we'll just wrap that up and call it a day tomorrow after that. But anyway, I appreciate you being here. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And until next time.
Everybody looking out for themselves, and everybody got a truth to tell. Everybody got a book they want to sell to everyone else. Everybody got their own agenda, everybody wants you to buy. And no one gives a fuck if their bullshit hustle makes somebody end their life. Oh, I just wanna make money, just wanna make money, don't care in the end who it turns to a friend or foe, or what it does to the folks I know. I just wanna make money, just wanna make money. Who knows what it'll cost in the end? Deal with that then. Everybody thinks that they speak for everybody, thinks that they are smart. But everybody's always looking for answers, nobody knows where to start. Everybody thinks someone should save them, but nobody comes to their call. And everybody thinks that they have the fix to finally mend it all. Oh, I just wanna make money, just wanna make money, don't care in the end who it turns to a friend or foe, or what it does to the folks I know. I just wanna make money, just wanna make money. Who knows what it'll cost in the end? Deal with that then. Oh, I just wanna make money, just wanna make money, don't care in the end who it turns to a friend or foe, or what it does to the folks I know. I just wanna